Hi everyone, this is the next part. And before we make the styling for the uh, heading and paragraph and quote etc., I just want to make a hover for our menu that we have made and also a backup menu at the bottom. So for that, for the hover, we had learned how to make the A hover and change it. So I'm gonna do the same thing, but I'm gonna use a combo tag which includes nav, then A hover. So it selects the hover state of A, and then I'm gonna change the background color to pink. Now if we save and reload our page, we can see no change, but when we hover on these it becomes pink, which is very helpful. And one more thing that we can do, if like we can change all other pages to the menu if anything else does not have the menu. So I'm just gonna go to sports index and then I'm gonna copy this whole nav part, and then I'm gonna check the other pages. Actually, the problem is not that, but we just need to add in the link tag. I'm gonna copy that instead. It will be here. So if anything does not have that, make sure to add it in. Otherwise, the styling that we add will be visible only on the pages with the link. This one has it as well. This one has it as well. This one also has. This one has. And so now we can do more styling, like for our heading, this one. As you can see, we have created an ID for everything already. So we can use that to point out to that heading specifically and create styles. So now let's create some paragraph and quote and heading stylings. So guys, actually let's make some changes to make it simpler. So now we can see we have this page, and we instead of we manually pushing the margin, we can use our text align property and let's set it to center on this main heading. Text align center. And if we save and refresh, you can see it auto aligns itself to the center. And also let's make the width a bit bigger. Suppose let's make it up to 1300 pixels. Now you can see it's not very well aligned, but there's as I told, there was a shorthand for this property which we can use. So there are many ways to use it, but I'm gonna use one particular way. In this way, the first value will be put will be for the top and bottom sides, but the second value that we put will be for the left and right side. So for the top and bottom, I'm gonna set it to 0. And for the left and right side, I'm gonna use a special thing called auto. So this will automatically set the margins so that it's equally aligned. So now I'm gonna just save it and refresh. And as you can see, it has auto set the margins to equally aligned. And now we can make this block size bigger also. I may make it up to 160, I guess. Yes, that's perfect. Let's try 170. No, that's not good. So 160 is perfect. And now let's start styling our page by, like, first let's add an background image for our heading over here so that it looks better in looks. And we are also gonna change the block code and make it look like a block. So let's do all that now. So now everyone, let's style our heading by adding a margin bottom of let's say 40 pixels, then height of 140 pixels maybe, and let's also change the font for our whole page by at the top in body putting in font family Arial, and then if we come back down, we are gonna also change the color to white maybe, and we are gonna set the padding top to 75 pixels, and we are gonna add a background image. And the way to add this is we need to write the word URL and then put brackets. Inside them we need to put double quotes, and inside that we need to type the image name. And if you'd have downloaded the thing, like the folder link that was there, you would have got all this thing. And in this images folder we can see there's a file called sports background.jpg. So we are just gonna type in that in here. So since this is not in the same folder, we need to type in the images folder name and then slash the file name, that sports hyphen background dot jpg. And now if we save and we go back to our page and we refresh, we can see this background appears, and as you can see it's repeated a lot. So we can decrease the width of this so that it appears only once. So we can do that using the width property that we used for our body. For now I'm gonna go back here and I'm gonna check the width of this image, and it's 520. So I'm just gonna type in width 520 pixels. So we can save and refresh this, and it's like it's moved to this side. So I'm gonna first try to float it to the center, which may not possibly work because this is just a heading. Yeah, so now instead of that we can push it away by using margin left, and I'm gonna keep trying until I get a suitable number. So I'm gonna try about 300 pixels and save it and refresh this. I think 350 will be a bit better. Yeah, I think 350 is the best. And since we learned to style this now and it looks pretty good, the background picture, let's style our coat, and we're gonna make it look like a block. So for styling the coat, we are gonna start out by adding an ID, and that ID name I'm gonna make it to coat, and I'm gonna save this and go back to our styling and create a new style rule for the coat ID. And then first things first, we're gonna set the text align to center, and I'm gonna set height. First let's set the background color to aqua, and then I'm gonna set the height to I think 310 pixels, and then the width to 220 pixels, and I'm gonna set the margin to auto on all sides, and I'm also gonna make it float towards the right side, so it will be on the right side of our page. And now we are gonna save and refresh this page, and it becomes like this. And I'm gonna make the height a bit lesser actually, or I'm gonna make the width a bit more also. And also I'm gonna add a bit of padding also on all sides. Padding, I'm gonna make it about 30 pixels I think. And I'm gonna make the height up to like some 100 pixels. Yeah, and I'm gonna actually make the margin even more rather than keeping it at auto. I'm gonna change this to margin left, or instead of that, for this let it be auto. And if we save and refresh, we'll see no change. But for our paragraph over here, um, just for now, I'm just gonna add in a p tag, and I'm gonna put a margin right of about like let's say 40 pixels. Or rather than that, we can make this width lesser, and then we can let's keep this rule, but let's make this width just 200 pixels. And now let's actually push this away itself. I don't think this paragraph is working, so I'm just gonna push this away for now. Margin left, I'm gonna change it to 40 pixels, and then I'm gonna reload, and now we have this box. And also I'm gonna make this, I'm gonna remove this, and I'm gonna make this the box's font size 120%. We can use pixels too, but I'm using percent for this. And also I'm gonna make the font weight to bold, so it's gonna be a bit bolded text. And since this size is bigger than the background color, it's coming out, so I'm gonna actually make the height bigger itself, like I'll say 200 pixels. That's too big. 180 pixel. Yes, this is perfect. And now this Billie Jean King part also, we need to make it come below this, or actually for making it look even better, I'm just gonna control exit and put it inside the block quote itself. And if we save and refresh, it'll come like this. uh, let's try putting a line break in here. Yeah, this is better. And let's as you can see here, we have padding of all sides on 30 pixels. Let's decrease that to I think 10 pixels. No need, actually better than that. Let's push this text up a bit. Let's add in a padding bottom. I'm gonna make it 30 more pixels, or I'm gonna make it 60 pixels. Yes, actually I think 50 pixels will do better. Yeah, so now we have the quote style also. And this paragraph, we don't need to style it much, we just need to make it a bit bigger font. And we need to change the color. So let's do that now and let's also add in a backup menu at the bottom, because our page may become bigger for this and the other pages. So if our user goes to the bottom of the page, it should be like he doesn't need to go up to the bottom of to the top of the page to switch between pages. We are gonna add a backup menu at the bottom too. So now everyone, let's make a backup menu for our page. So as you can see, there's already some text here, but to save some time, since we have already made the header, I'm just gonna copy the whole of the header, and then I'm gonna select this part, and I'm just gonna paste it instead of it, and I'm gonna remove this H1 here. So, and also let's change this header tag to the footer tag. So this is for the ending part of the page. And now if we save and we go and open this page, and we can refresh this, you can see it follows the same styling, because we have just put nav a link for some places, and we have not put specifically for footer, so it just follows this. And also you can see that it does not push this up, it does not get pushed down, and it sits next to this. So we're gonna fix that in a bit. I'm just gonna go to our styling, and I'm gonna add a rule for the footer itself. And inside the rule, I'm just gonna type in I'm just gonna add in a margin top of 50 pixels, just so that it looks better. And then I'm gonna add in a clear. So all floated objects, the other objects generally wrap up around the objects if they don't have space. But if we add this clear property, and now since this is floated to the right of this object, I'm gonna put clear right. And now if we save and refresh, you can see it doesn't wrap up. So this property is very useful when we have cases like this and we don't want it to wrap up. So we'll just move and adjust so that it does not wrap up around the object. So that's one thing we can do. And we're also going to add more styling now for the footer. Now a hover state, I'm gonna add in a color change. I'm gonna make it to pink maybe, and we're also gonna make more changes we're gonna use the same kind of thing, but this time we're gonna make footer now A as visited, and I'm gonna also make a footer now A link, and now I'm gonna make the color to gray, and I'm gonna make the background color, as white so that it removes the background color. And now if we save it and refresh it, you can see it becomes like this. One second. I think we may need to put this rule below this rule. One second, let me just give it a check. Oh no, this closing one got vanished. Okay, now the hover is working, and we have our backup menu too. And I think that's it for this backup menu. Now let's make the paragraph bigger and change the color of this list, and this point we're gonna make it to a ball, and let's make some more styling changes now. So now we're gonna style our paragraph. So for that, about here, just on top, I'm gonna add in p tag. And now I'm gonna put some basic styling properties. So I'm gonna make the font size. I'm gonna use percentage, and I'm gonna make it 130%. And I'm gonna change the color. We are gonna use a hex value this time. If you want to select your own hex value, you can go to Google and search color picker, and we can select whatever color we want here, and you can see the hex value here, and you can just copy and paste it. So for this, I'm gonna use a hex value of 0404B4, and now if we save and we refresh, it will become blue and it will become bigger. I'm gonna maybe make it only to 120%. Yeah, that's better. And for all our headings, I'm gonna make a rule. It will include the H1, H2, H3 and H4. And for that, we're gonna make the color to this time also a hex, but we're gonna make 04B404, and we're gonna make the text align to center. So all our headings will get aligned to center. So now you can see this is green and it comes to the center. And for our list also we have some styles. So if we go to our file explorer where we had all the files we had to work with, in the images folder, there's one ball picture called listimage.png. So if you remember, for the heading that we did, we used this background image. So we're gonna use almost the same property like that. I'm just gonna put in a UL styling, and I'm gonna use a list style image property. So this also we need to do it the same way as this we need to type in URL, then in brackets and in quotes we need to type in the address of the file path of the file. So I'm gonna type in URL, then put some quotes, put some brackets and quotes, and then we're gonna type in images slash list image dot png, and now we can save, and we can go back to this and refresh the page, and you can see our bullet point has gone, and we see a cricket ball or tennis ball here. And now we are also going to add a style rule for our li. I'm gonna add it after this one. I'm just gonna type in li, and for this, for the color, we're gonna use gold color, and we're gonna make the font size to 110%. And now if we save this and refresh, it has become golden and a bit bigger. And for this heading, just for our h3 tags, I'm gonna add a separate rule for h3. So I'm gonna make the size to 140% for all the h3s in all the documents. Oh, sorry, not size, it's font size. If we save and refresh, the heading has become a lot bigger. So now we have completely styled this page. So in the next part, we're gonna make all the other pages, like all the content of all the other pages, and we're gonna style them too. So each part will show how to make one page. So till then, bye.